Welcome to the React tutorial part 2. In the previous video, we set up the server, the Node and Mongo server, which we will use in this UI, which API we will use in the UI. So if I go to the API docs, so you can see this set of APIs we will integrate in the React front end. And we also pull this repository, this server in our local, and we run the server. You can see the server is running and we use the create react app tool to setting up a new react application, and including all the necessary dependencies and the basic project structure. After removing all the unnecessary things which we don't need to create the front end, and we just printed the hello world, you can see. So we'll add more today in this page. In this page we'll add the navigation, the nav items. Mm, by clicking this nav items, we can go to the home page. We can go to the new authors book or the new book page. So let's see. I will use the bootstrap to control all the layout and the CSS of the style. So let's install the bootstrap first. You can see it's added. Now I will import the style here. So I added here basic nav items. So the my library will be the home, and the authors, new author books, and the new book will be the 4 different pages. By clicking those links, we will go to these pages. So I will add the styles, some styles here, so that it looks the okay. It looks like it's in the header and the nav. First, I will add the margin top. Okay, let's go to the index.css and add some styling. First, I will add some CSS selector. Yep. So here I take the nav, the header nav as flex, so that child elements becomes the flex items. This allows you to use the flexbox properties for layouts and the alignment. And you can see the flex wrap property, which actually allows the flex item to wrap to a new line if they don't fit within the available space. You can see it's don't fit, if here it's don't fit the, so it's going to the new line. If there is broad, then it's uh, go to the right side. So justify content space between, uh, basically control the horizontal elements of the flex item within the container by setting it to the space between the flex item, pushing them to the far left and the right edges of the container. This create the space between effect. And the align item center, so the text will be in the center of the container. And margin bottom 5 RDM, I am actually there so that there, if there is any footer, so if there is any body, then it will be from the 5 RDM far from this header. And text decoration none for the removing the underline and the linkage. Whatever we have in the A tag, it's by default putting the underline. And next thing I will add, if I hover any items, the color will be changed. Next, I will add the authors page, list of authors page, where the authors list will be showing, and and I will integrate the APIs. So whatever APIs we have, the get all authors. So for this, I will first create a utility file for making consistent and structured API request. So I will create service directory inside SRC. There will be the make request files and the authors files, where all the author routes will be there, and make request will be the common file to make HTTP request. We need Axios to make the HTTP request, so I will install it. So here I created an instance of Axios client for making HTTP request. It also defined a function named main request that simplifies the process of making HTTP request. You can see this make request. Mm, so the API equal to Axios basically create an Axios instance named API. Here the URL, you can see the URL. So URL basically the parameters that represents the URL to which the request should be made, and the options parameters. You can see the options. So the options parameter can be used to provide additional request configurations such as headers or the request data, and it's provide the promise. That's why dot then response. I am taking the response, and the data property. Uh, I am extracts the data property, and I will return the rest of data. And if anything error happens, it catches any errors and extracts the error message from the Axios error response. If available an error message is found, it rejected as a promise with the error message. And I will also check if it's not found, it will just return the error. So without hard coding the base URL, the server URL, I will add it to the .env file. So in the root directory, I will create the .env file, and I will declare the server URL here. So in the React app, whatever the configuration you want to add, you have to append the React underscore app underscore. You can append anything, and you can declare a configuration. So I declare the server URL, and I can take it by process dot env by this way. I have to restart the server because the change in the .env is not detected, and it's not restarted the server. Next, I will create a author.js file which will contain all the requests, all the get and post requests of the authors. Uh, so whatever we have here, the get authors, post create new author, get author by ID, put a author, and delete author. So you can see the make request, I am providing the URL. So to get all authors. So I am providing the URL slash authors. To create a particular author, I am providing the URL slash authors slash the ID of this author, which I want to get. And to create a authors, I am passing the URL and also the options here, the method and the payload or the request body. And in case of the update author, I am providing the ID which I want to update, and I am providing the options method put and data. Here I am providing the ID to delete the author, and I am providing the options method delete. Next, I will create the component. I will first create the new author component to create new author. So first create a directory component. So I will create a React component. So if you have install ES7 React Native snippets extension in your VS Code, so you can just uh, type here the RFC, and you can hit enter, and you will create uh, a basic React component will be created. Then I will create the router to navigate to the new author in the app.js. I have to install the React Router DOM package for that. So the React Router DOM is a popular package in the React.js ecosystem that provides the routing capabilities for single page application like React. It's part of the React Router family, which is used for handling routing in the React application. So we'll use to create route. So you can see it's giving me the result. The used routes may be used only in the context of the router component. So basically, I should have a browser router higher up in the tree. The reason for this is that the browser router provides a history context which is needed at the time the routes are created using the use routes. So go to the index.js, and here I need the browser router. Now if I go to the, as you can see, the author slash new author giving me this new authors. We don't have anything, that's why it's not giving any results. And if I go to the new author, it's printed the new author, these things. So I'll design form here, the bootstrap form. You can see the new author form is designed. So next we'll integrate the API. Basically, this component, the new author component, represents a form to creating a new author. Next I will captures the author's name input, sends the data to the server using the create author functions. So we have the create author functions here, the create author service, and then redirects to the home page upon successful author creation. I will use the uh, use state and the new author function and the create author service. Here I use the use state from the React. So basically the use state is used to manage the state of the component. It initializes the author state with an object containing an empty name property. You can see in the initial user state. Then we have the handle input change. The handle input change function is defined to handle input changes. It is called when there is an on change event on the author's name input. On the author's name input, you can see it updates the author state with the new value. So it's extracting the value and it's updating the author name. And next is the form submission. On submitting form, I am calling the handle submit function. It prevents the default form submission behavior and then calls the create author function by providing the payload author, which will contain the name. Once the author is created, it uses the navigate function to redirect to the author's page. So let's see uh, if it's functional or not. So I'll create the R trigger and click on submit. So seems like it's successfully created. That's why we jump into the authors page. So you can see it's redirected to the authors. On the Swagger UI, we can check if it's created or not. So try it out, executes, and you can see the art trigger. It's created. Now we'll integrate these gate authors in this page. So I'll create the component authors. So author will be showing like this. Now I will integrate the APIs, the get all author APIs. So you can see the article is showing here, which we added. Mhm. So I will test mode. So new author. I will add mode author Astroy, and you can see Astroy is added just next to the article. Everton. So it's functional. You can see you can get all authors and you can create new authors. So we integrated these two routes, the get authors and the create new authors. So now if I come to the explanation of this components, the authors React functional components is responsible for displaying a list of authors. Just you see, uh, and next I use the use state here. The use state is used to manage the state of the component. It initializes the author states, which is the empty array. Next, I use the useEffect hook. The useEffect hook is used to fetch the list of the authors when the component mounts. It takes a callback function as its first arguments and an empty dependency array. So we don't have any dependency. So if you put any dependency, with the change in the dependency, the callback function will be triggered. So this effects will runs once when the component is mounted. And the get authors call, the we already have the get authors called, so it's calling basically slash authors, and it's taking the base URL. So it's already discussed. And we have the conditional rendering. Conditional renders either as a message indicating no records found if there is no authors, so it will print it no authors found, otherwise it will show the name of the authors. Okay, so that's all for this session. In the next session, we will integrate rest of the routes, the get author by ID, update author, and the delete author. So if you like the video, please click on like, and please do subscribe my channel, the Coding with SJ Malik, to get this kind of videos from this channel. Other than the React, you can also learn the Vue. I have a tutorial to create Vue project from scratch. Also have the Node Express Mongo project from scratch, and also have the Node Express uh, Postgres project from scratch. So you can check this playlist here. You can check all the playlist, the Node Express Mongo, and we have the JavaScript basics. Okay, thank you.